So we have entered the era of massive spikes and crashes across all different types of assets. Crypto style spikes and crashes across everything. Are you ready for that? Are you ready for that? I mean, we just saw some really massive movement in the gold and silver market. Let me show you. So look at that spectacular and scary move in silver here that we've seen, right? Since August, and then since like October when it really started breaking out over here, we shot through 50, 60, 70, 100, 100 and then if we go look here on the weekly, we can see that we shot up from, we were about 103 last Friday, all the way up. It doesn't say it on here, but it shot all the way up to like 120 Monday, Tuesday of this week, which is like massive, huge. I'm in the way, sorry. Like 120. You can't really exactly see it here. That says 111, 116. It actually shot up to about 120. They tend to kind of smooth out the edges in past stuff, when the time is over. But now we're back down to like $87 in silver. And I just loaded this and it was 85 a second ago. So this is some crazy, crazy silver movement. And I'd like to point out that there were markets where silver went up to almost $125 or $130, okay, if you were watching it in various markets. And that was, that's a big move, okay? But now we're down below 90. This is what parabolic moves do. That's the thing. Let's take a look at gold, because gold also has made this like major pullback. Now it's under 5,000. It went up to $5,500, and in some places I saw it as high as 56, almost $5,700. So that's a really big move. And then we're down almost $1,000, like $800, $700 in just a day or two. So this is pretty parabolic. Here it says 54.14, but I saw it higher in other places. So this is kind of a safe place to talk about it, just because it's, they're more moderate numbers, but, there's more extensions that happen in other places. And this is what you call parabolic. This is massive. This is huge. And this is not what you see with silver. And we can look at this at the all time, because it's going to do this. It looks the same. It looks like that silver chart. That's pretty crazy. But we can look at the gold silver ratio, which also has just like fallen off a cliff. It went down to 50.28, but it's up to 56. It was down at like 47. So this is also all over the map. And we are in crazy times now. And here's what I showed you guys about Bitcoin just earlier this week, that we were dropping, and we have dropped more, but I still don't think we're done. We can bounce, of course. This is what happens. Nothing goes up in a straight line. Nothing goes down in a straight line. But we did follow these sort of shifting trends, but now we're headed down until we're ready to change directions. And this is the volatility that's happening. And by the way, look at this move that we had just over a few hours. It's pretty spectacular, pretty big move. That's about 12 hours, or maybe a day, to drop from up here at 90,000 all the way down to 81. So that's a $10,000, $9,000 drop. That's staggering. Even for crypto, Bitcoin has become more stable because the institutions are all involved. So what's going on? What's happening is we're watching markets go into free fall. Many, many entities are in a lot of trouble. And so even though gold and silver are the risk assets where people, they're safety, they're the run to safety, there's so many layers of manipulation on our system that nothing is safe. And there's ways that they game everything. So everything can go up and down and go crazy. And there's a major desperation happening behind the scenes. And so like I said a few days ago, watch banks, they're going to fail. You're going to have bank failure. Just hold on to your physical silver, right? Your physical metals. Just hold on to your cryptos in your wallet, because at a certain point, all the liquidity in the world, all the money in the world is going to start to chase real usable assets. And that means gold and silver in your own possession. That means the good cryptos. It also means things like eggs, chickens, stuff that you can actually use and eat that people need. So, that's what's happening. We're in free fall in the financial system. It is on its way to crashing. So please protect yourselves, because this is the chance. This is your chance to do so. That chance isn't going to be around forever. So that's where we stand. I mean, I had a car for sale and I dropped the price so I could get a chunk of change so I could go buy some more silver, and silver has nicely dropped for me in the meantime. So now, and of course I couldn't sell it for weeks. I'm like, all right, well, timing is going to be God's timing, and boom, now I got a chunk of money and I'm going to go buy some more silver. So do I think that we're headed down and that the peak is over and that the bubble's popped? Absolutely, 100%. Unequivocally, no, I do not think so. I mean, I'm not making financial advice. I'm not telling you anything, but telling you what to do. All I do is provide information. You provide the decision making. But the bottom line here is that if a system's in free fall, they can game it. They can make it look a certain way all they want. But eventually, it's not going to work anymore. And that's where we are. So brace yourselves, because we're going to see a lot of craziness come February as we are headed into the Chinese New Year of the horse. Things are going to get crazy, galloping, wild, like a herd of wild horses on the prairie, stampeding. It's going to be wild, kicking up dust and all that. So watch out, get ready, prepare yourselves. This is what we're going to get used to in next year, this whole year. Okay? Talk to you later. Be safe out there. Bye, you guys.